So I got a new chin-up bar, which is in my doorway to my bedroom, and I didn't think of this, but now I can't close the door. Oh yeah, player's gonna get jacked. So today I'm coming to you live from my living room / kitchen. But today we are talking about one of the most important things that you can do for your computer: backups. Yo. So we're gonna start off with some story time. So every year on the same day, October 30th, since 2014, I've been making the same post, usually on my Twitter or my Facebook, reminding people to back up their files. Now, why do I say that? Because on that day, I had my laptop stolen from me, from under a table at a local restaurant. And at the time, I was in the middle of editing the second season of my digital series, LARPs, and I was editing off my laptop, so everything was on there. Now, while we never found the laptop again, fortunately, it had been ingrained in me by my brother to always have a backup. And not only did I have a backup, I actually had two. But what that meant was I lost about 2 days of work. Not the end of the world, considering how I could have lost my entire project that 50+ artists put hundreds of hours into. Now that sounds like an extreme case, but it also applies to absolutely anything else. Your photos, your assignments if you're still in school, everything that you have a digital copy of really should be backed up. So let me start off by explaining something really simple that actually ends up confusing a lot of people who are not computer savvy, and that's the difference between a backup and external storage. So if you think of external storage, it's just extra storage that you have that might house files that you no longer have space for on your computer. Now that is not a backup. In fact, it's actually even more vulnerable being on an external hard drive. A backup is duplicates of everything that you have, and that would include anything you have on external storage. So let's say I edit my photos off of an external hard drive. Well, when I back up, I want to make sure I'm backing up both what's on my computer and what's on those external hard drives. So this actually won't be a very long video, but I am going to explain the different kinds of backups you have, and maybe you can figure out which one best suits your workflow. The first one is to have manually backed up external hard drives, and this is when you have an external hard drive attached to your computer and you drag and drop duplicates onto that drive. For me, this works best when it's project specific or hard drives or company specific. So I have a hard drive for Beanduck and I have a hard drive for my own personal works that I've done throughout all of university and up till now doing headshots and all that stuff. I have two separate hard drives for that. If you want to have an ongoing backup of your computer, that's where maybe an automated backup system might work. And so for that to happen, you still need to buy an external hard drive. But what you do is you use one of your computer's built-in automated backups softwares. So for PC, it would be File History, and for Mac, it would be Time Machine. And really, this is the simplest way to go if you're not tech savvy, is to just have someone set that up for you. If you have a friend who knows computers, you essentially turn one of those hard drives into an ongoing backup anytime it's plugged into your computer. So if you were using a laptop and you're going out, when you get back home, you put it on your desk, you plug in for your power, and you plug in for your backup. Really, the reason why I recommend this the most is because the number one issue that people have involving backups is just taking the initiative to back up. And so the nice thing about this is that you don't have to remember anything other than just to plug in the USB wire or whatever, and you're safe and you can feel safe, knowing that if anything happens, let's say your laptop is stolen like mine was, everything is protected. Now for both of these things, I'm talking about physical hard drives. You should actually also have an off-site backup. So let's say for my Beanduck and personal external hard drive, I have a second copy of those at my office. And so if anything were to happen here, let's say I had a break-in or something like that and someone stole my hard drive, I know that I have a second one that's at a different location that is completely safe. So what I'll do is, let's say if there's a major project that's been brought onto one hard drive, I'll bring that hard drive with me to work so I can duplicate it onto the one that's there, put that one away, bring back my hard drive, and now I have 2 copies of that new project on both hard drives on different locations. So the final thing you might want to consider is the cloud. Whoa! And for this, I am going to specifically mention a software that I use because I'm not too familiar with any others, but I use a software called Backblaze, and that is a yearly subscription. And essentially what it does is recognizes whenever new files are brought onto a computer or an external hard drive that's plugged into your computer, and it will automatically upload it into a encrypted server so that it is protected. And if at any point your drive fails, it breaks, it gets water spilled on it, you throw it off the balcony because you're a psycho. You can actually always order a replacement hard drive from Backblaze with the latest backup, and they will send it to you. And it's like you never threw it off the balcony to begin with. Now, of course, there are costs associated with this. If you're buying external hard drives, find the hard drive that best suits your expected file sizes. So I have to, as a filmmaker, photographer, have to buy like the biggest hard drives. So my hard drives are usually now at least 8 terabytes big, and you know, they can be, you know, $200 each. And if you're buying 2 or 3 of them, ugh. If you're just working, let's say, on, you know, essay documents, or it's just hobby photography of like family trips or whatever, things that you don't want to lose, then you don't have to go all out. You can buy a 2 terabyte hard drive, which would be closer to $80 to $100. And that, in the grand scheme of things, is really inexpensive for the comfort knowing that your files are safe. Because if, and really when, your hard drives, whether it's inside your computer or an external one, expires and decides to stop working or erase all of its own content for whatever reason, the last thing you also want to burden yourself with is knowing that you've also lost all of that data for good. I definitely want to encourage you to think about your files, think about them as memories. And I think a lot of the time we have a tendency to look at stuff and go, you know what? I don't care if I lose that. But in the end, we always do. I have yet to meet anyone who has had their hard drive damaged who didn't have a sense of loss afterwards. I can't stress it enough that if you don't have backups of your files and you are ongoing working on something, or it's just a collection of memories, to think about how you can protect those files so that you never have to go through what my friend went through, who lost her entire thesis because she spilled coffee on her external hard drive. If you have any questions about this, please let me know. If you'd like more of an in-depth look as to how I do backups, just please let me know in the comments. You can tell this is a really important topic for me. Unprotected hard drives gives me so much anxiety. So hopefully it puts some of that anxiety onto you and you take those steps to protect your stuff. Oh look, so I'm still looking, it's still new to this camera, so I'm still looking at myself in the screen. Hello! Thank you so much for joining today, and I hope you all had a fantastic holidays. Happy New Year, see you in 2021. This 2020, it's stupid. It's a stupid year. And it should go throw itself off a balcony, along with a hard drive.